Okay, so some people who have used the BS power indicator have reached out to ask a similar question, and they are always saying that the BS power indicator does not give them what they want. Now, let me explain how this indicator works. This particular indicator, the BS power indicator, accesses the strength of sellers by comparing the day's low price to a 13 period exponential moving average, the day's low price. Okay, so for the indicator to give you accurate information, right, you need to pay attention to when the indicator is showing negative on your indicator window, right? When it's showing negative, it means that the bears have had a lot of strength to close below the 13 period exponential moving average of the daily time frame. All right, now this is happening on the daily time frame. This is something that goes all the way to the daily time frame to check the market, check the charts, and just give you information based on that time frame. So whatever you want to do with that information depends totally on you. Now, all you have to do right now is to go to make sure you don't skip any time frame. Make sure you, from the daily time frame, make sure you look and make sure you find more bearish momentum before you even decide to jump into the market. All right, so simply go from the daily time frame, go down, make sure what you see is more of the bearish momentum. All right, I wouldn't take a selling trade in this market seeing that there are more bullish rejections. There are more rejections from the buyers. I mean, you can see price had come to a somewhat support region here. All right, and it's currently pushing upwards. I wouldn't dare take a sell position in this market right now using this strategy. Instead, what I'll do is I want to see more bearish momentum. So I won't jump from the daily time frame down to the 1 minute time frame to make any decision, right? I don't want to make any hasty decision. I want to see that there are more bearish momentum in the market on every step of the way, from the daily time frame down to the lower time frames. And apparently price is at support region right here. You can see that price had come to a certain region where buyers usually take charge, right? You can see that clearly. You can see even on the indicator window, you can see that the bears had come to the oversold level of the indicator window, excuse me. So I just want to keep going like that. I want to see that I have a bearish force, right? I want to see more bearish force on each of these time frames, but unfortunately there's nothing like that, so I'll simply skip. But then again, if you find more of the bearish momentum, for example, you see that on each of these time frames that you're checking, you see that the moving average, we are going to be using the 13 period EMA on our main chart for this strategy, right? Now you want to see that you can see clearly on the 30 minutes time frame that at a point you can see that sellers were dominant. You can see that price was constantly below the moving average. All right, price was constantly below the moving average. So this is what you're looking for on all of these time frames, right? When you're using this strategy, this is what you're looking for on all of these time frames. You want to see your moving average running above price, while price is cutting below the moving average on our main chart. I'm going to show you guys the setup soon, so just make sure you watch this video to the end. All right, so you want to see something like that. You can see at a point this was intersected and price had broken that moving average and went above it. So this is a clear red flag. You don't want to be selling right now. You want to just wait to see that price is running under the moving average, below the moving average. All right, so you don't skip any time frame. You can see that we have more bullish momentum right now. So you looking for selling opportunities right now is a terrible mistake. You will definitely lose trading like that. Okay, so what you do is look for bearish momentum like I'm explaining. And when you've seen more of bearish momentum on from the daily time frame down to your 1 minute time frame, that's when you are supposed to be comfortable with a selling decision, right? You simply have seen more reasons why you should sell the boom in 1000 index market at that point. All right, so here we go. You can see that currently, I know some people will tell you when price crosses moving average on your 1 minute time frame below the moving average, of course you buy, you sell and all of that. But these indicators have a particular way they each and every one of them, they have how they function, they have their strengths too, right? So you need to understand these things before you even take advantage, before you try to take advantage. Okay, so you can see while price is crossing the moving average on the main window, you can see that at this other side the bears, right, had come to the RSI level 15, right? This is level 15 of the RSI. This region is what the people call the oversold region, right? This is, for me, this is support region right here. So price having come to this region is a bad sign. Okay, so how do you trade using this strategy? How do you make money using this strategy? You want to first of all see those see that those time frames, those higher time frames down, are giving you the bearish momentum by looking at the, if you don't know how to use the candlestick charts, please, if you don't know how to use the candlestick charts, learn. All right, enroll in our mentorship program. Is very affordable. Learn how to do without these indicators because they are not sustainable. You just will make quick money and not be consistent. Sometimes you might be making bad decisions because the indicators tend to lag sometimes and give you false information at that time. All right, unless you really know what you're doing. So learn how to do without the indicators. Learn how to trade with your eyes, with your naked eyes. Learn naked trading, right? Learn how to do without the indicators. It's very important. Reach out to us. My WhatsApp number, my free Telegram link will be in the description box of this video, so you can always reach out. Join over 1,500 plus, over 1,500 traders who are on there benefiting from what we share on there. Okay, so just join us, reach out to me, WhatsApp, and let's have a deal. Okay, so how do you trade how do you finally decide to enter on the 1 minute time frame, having seen bearish momentum on the higher time frames, right? I was trying to explain for those of you who don't know how to read the charts by looking at the patterns, the structure of the market and stuff. You simply tell that the market is in a bearish direction when the moving average on our main window, I'm going to show you guys the setting, when the moving average on our main window is running above price and price is running below it, right? Price is cutting below the moving average on our main window. You can see right here, you can see that clearly this is an uptrend. Price is constantly running above the moving average. All right, so you don't want to be selling decisions right now. You fail, you will definitely fail. Okay, so when you see that price is now below the moving average and moving average is running above price, like what is happening here on the higher time frame, right? That's when you come down to the 1 minute time frame, and then you want to see something similar, right? Now for the bears power indicator, you want to see that it gets to the level 85 of the RSI. I'm going to show you guys the setting. I want to see that it declines from there. I want to see that it starts declining from there, starts coming down from there. That indicates that sellers are now dominant in the market. Sellers are now having a lot of strength in the market. And when it declines, it shows you that. Okay, and then that's when you also look at the moving average on your main chart and see that price closes at least one candlestick or two candlesticks below the moving average. Remember, you first of all have to see that there are bearish momentums on the higher time frames. You need to see more of bearish closing price on the higher time frames down to the 1 minute time frame, and then you need to see that it crosses below the price, crosses below the moving average and closes below the moving average, and then that is your chance to take a trade. All right, if you backtest, you see that this happens a lot of times. But first of all, you need to confirm those other, you need to make sure to confirm that those other confirmations are met before you take your sell. All right, before you take your sell. So that's it. We are trading the Boom 1000 index market using this strategy. That's why I'm explaining what I'm explaining right now. Okay, that's why I'm explaining what I'm explaining right now. So let's quickly check the setup for moving average. For the moving average on our main charts, we are using period 13 shift 1 method exponential. Apply to close. Levels are not needed, so you skip that part. For visualization, you want to leave it at all time frames. Of course, you want to also ensure that the colors are visible in your chart. For this particular indicator, you want to see that. You can see I'm using the white background chart to make this video, so my color here is black. I want to make sure it pops on my screen. So you click done when you're done with that, and you have your moving average on your chart, on your main chart. Okay, the next one would be the best power. All right, we are using period of 9, no levels. We are leaving in all time frames, and then the color I'm using here is green. You can see it pops on my screen. My screen is white background, so green pops. All right, so I have that 2 pixel is cool. And then we are going to be needing period 5 of the relative strength index. Apply to low, levels 85 and 15. When you go to that page, ensure to change the color to a color that will pop on your screen. You can see my background is white, so I'm using the dark color, and that's cool. So when you come back to this other page, ensure that you're using the same color as the background of your chart. You can see that the background of my chart is white, so I'm using white color here. I'm using white color. Okay, I don't want to show anything here, so I click done and you have your setup all ready. Okay, so if you backtest, you see that what I explained just keeps happening. You can see here, after this crossing, or even before the crossing, on our main on our indicator window, you could see that the BS power had already declined very well before the crossing happened. Here. All right, so that is your confirmation to make your trade, guys. That is your confirmation to place a sell, and you can see how far down this went. You can see how far down this went. All right, you can see how far down that went. So make sure you confirm a decline of the BS power, all right, before the crossing of your moving average on the main window, right? And then when it closes 2 or 3, 1 or 2 candlesticks after 1 or 2 candlesticks below the moving average, that's when you strike, guys. That's when you strike. I'll be on my WhatsApp waiting for you guys to reach out. Whatever it is you need clarity on, I'll be there to guide you. This is another one. You can see declined successfully, broke and closed below the moving average successfully, and you can see how far down it went from there. All right, but ensure that to get this right, make sure that all other confirmations that I explained are met before you even come down to the 1 minute time frame to make your entry. All right, if you want to do this on the crash market, you want to be doing the opposite. All right, for the crash market, you want to be doing the opposite of what we did for the Boom 1000 market. Now we are buying the crash market, guys. We are buying the crash market, so we are looking for bullish momentum. We are looking out for bullish closing of the candlesticks on the higher time frames. All right, and then we are looking out for a positive movement of the BS power this time around. Okay, we are looking out for a positive movement of BS power this time around. That means we want to see that it pushes upwards from here. All right, want to see that it pushes upwards from the level 15 of the moving average. Want to also see more of bullish closing of the daily time frames, the daily time frame, of course, the 4 hours time frame, the 1 hour time frame, all of the time frames like that till you get to the 1 minute time frame. You can see that it is happening. Okay, one can easily find buying opportunities on this chart. One can easily find buying opportunities. So you just do the opposite of what you did for the boom 1000 market on this one, guys. I'll be waiting for you guys. Bring your testimonies if you try it and it works out. Of course, please always ensure to apply this to your demo accounts first. Make sure you're conversant with how the indicator works before you even try to make money with it. All right, whatever challenges you might have, I'll be on the other side waiting for you. Your feedbacks too will be very necessary, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.